Hey guys, I'm Josh Oakes, and I want to show you in this video how we use Mailchimp. I'm going to shoot this for some friends, put it out there on the internet, and help a bunch of people, hopefully. I want to show you, as of today, how we're doing some newsletters. So dive in with me. We have a website called smartsocial.com that teaches kids how to be safe on the internet, how parents can protect their kids. Now, there's a new, we believe in blogging and then emailing more information about that blog to bring it back to your site. Oh no, but social media, no, we believe in blogging. SEO is really important, even though I become an SEO guy. And then we're going to show you how to put that into Mailchimp so that people forward it on and traffic comes back to your site. That's tip one with Mailchimp inbound marketing. Look at this. This is a Tide Pod challenge. And we are a concept marketing company. So what that means is we create videos teaching people, hey, kids are doing this challenge where they're eating Tide Pods and they think it's funny, but they're actually full of poison. It's sad. We wrote a blog today and we're going to put this into a Mailchimp thing. Now you're probably just getting started with Mailchimp or you're an expert, but I want to show you how we're doing this. So let's go ahead and dive over to Mailchimp. You can sign up using one of the links below. I might get $10 for free. I pay a lot of money to this. I don't get it for free. This isn't an advertisement for them. But if you do click the link below, it'll help me out. So the first things first is we have lists, and here's our lists that you can see. We've got 53,000 subscribers here and 5,000 here. So the first thing I'm going to do is actually show you some of our campaigns, but you have to import your list. That's a whole nother video. Some of my automation videos have gotten 20,000 views or so. I'll show you more about that later, but this is what we call, let's go over to the recent ones. Let me show you one of our past ones. So Footprint Friday, University Launch for Parents, and these are sent. This is awesome. So let's go over to this one. And let's replicate it. I've got a good email that we sent out. We'll replicate it. I could show you from scratch, but I'd rather just walk you through all of what we've already done and drop in the good stuff, okay? So the first thing is, who are we gonna send it to? You pick your drop down for your mailing list here. And I've got a ton of lists, and it shows you how many subscribers. So you pick that, and I always go to group or new segment. Why do I make a segment? Why don't I just send it to the entire list? The reason why you don't do that is because you want to segment, you'll get a higher open rate, you'll be talking to people about where they're at. Now, I like emailing people over 2 stars or over 3 stars. See, you can add something here, a segmentation, and then you click all. All of these must be true in order for you to email them, for them to get the email. So contact rating should be greater than 3 stars, and then I am an educator, law enforcement, other, and so on. We uncheck parent for right now. And you can update that recipient count, 9,304. But if I just wanted to send it to 5-star people, I could do anybody that's greater than 4-star, update that recipient count, and that goes to 3,000 people, right? So let's go ahead and do anybody greater that's an educator, law enforcement, other, that is greater than 2-star, 13,674. Cool. The all is important. A lot of people don't check that. And one of the biggest things you need to do as a marketer is to go through here and double check, okay, and just scan. Am I doing everything right? Everything that we do, we double check everything. Okay, let's do a checklist before we go on to the next thing. Eventually you'll get good at gut checking, but if you get something wrong here and you email 13,000 people and you don't take a moment to triple check it, it's embarrassing. Okay. What would you like to test? And there's a few ways to test this. You can do it by subject line, you can do it by from name, or by content. Let's take just a hot sec and show you how I see marketing a little bit differently than other people. And let's go over to here and look at my inbox. So you've got my inbox. See how you can see the from name first and then you see the topic? Well, the same is true in an iPhone. You see the from name first. So let's go take a look at that. And let me show you on my screen what my inbox looks like on Gmail, right? So it's who is it from? Hard for you to see, and then the topic. So you can do it by subject line, which everybody thinks, oh, I need a good subject line. Actually, from name is just as powerful, if not more. And then you can also do it by contact. And then they just added this one, send time. Let's do from name. And what this means is I'm doing an A/B test. I'll show you, just follow me here for a sec. We're gonna have 3 different opportunities to change the from name, and then it'll go out to 46% or 50%. So what that means is the test segment is 50%. Each one of the segments will go out to 1/3 of 6,000, right? Each one of them 2,279 per combination. And then after 2 hours, it will go out to the rest of the people. It says we want 4 hours, but 2 hours is fine. Let's do 4. I'll show you how I do it. I do 2 hours usually. Let's do that. Let's do setup. Hang out with me. I promise I'm going to show you some of the best stuff I've got. S2, and this is going to be, let me show you how I do this. S2 stands for Smart Social because we have a few different business models in Mailchimp. And S2 means that, let's go ahead and do this. Let's do Tide Pod Challenge and eBlast and let's do 3+ stars, I think it was, or something like that. 2+ stars. And then let's go over to challenge 2+ stars. And then I like to do educators because I know that I selected educators, and we'll do number 1. I'll show you why this is all important. I use conversations to do replies. I personalize the to field. If you have the first name in there, you can do that. Personalize the to field. And then email subject. I like to make a kind of a rough email subject. Tide Pod Challenge is dangerous for teens, right? Just make it, right? And then teens all over the country, teens should avoid this. This snippet appears in the inbox after the subject line. Teens should avoid this challenge. Or how about we say what parents need to know? Now, oftentimes I'll already have this written out. Now, this is what's cool. From the email address and name, Josh at Smart Social, right? From email address, josh@smartsocial.com and smartsocial.com Josh. Now, why is this important? This is stupid, Josh. Well, actually, it makes a major difference. One variation will get more opens than anything else, and you're branding yourself. You're seeing what people are opening, and you're learning what the best brand is. I could look at the last one, or I could just test it, and then the 50% goes. Depends on how people feel that day. And then Google Analytics tracking, I turn off e-commerce because we're not going to WordPress anymore. We're not doing that kind of a purchase thing. You could turn this on if you connect. Let's do S2 Tide Pod Challenge blog. Okay, and we don't need to know what date it came through from. We're not doing all that stuff. You can put the date and all that stuff. I don't really care about that right now. Okay, and this is a specific date blog anyways. Let's not make it too, okay, goal. I don't turn on goal tracking. Clicktail, we don't need that. This is already on. And I turn on conversations so that if a bunch of people have left the company, that all the bounces go through that and it monitors that as well. Great. Okay, so let's go over to content. So you basically built an A/B test. There's a lot of ways to set this up, but I'm doing an A/B test. And I'll show you just really quickly what the first step that we actually skipped looked like this. When you when you go over to campaigns, and I'm sorry that I'm moving so fast, but when you go over to campaigns, and make this full screen if you can't see it. When you go over to campaigns and you create a campaign, it says, what do you want to create? We went into create an email. And then we went into A/B test. What day of the week gets better open rates? Should you use a GIF? You create your campaign name and then you begin, and then it gives you the opportunity to dive in to the 3 that we just showed you. Okay, the A/B test on from line, subject, and so on. Okay, so Josh here from smartsocial.com. This is where we are going to write out some stuff. So let's go ahead and dive on into this. Hello, first name, Josh here from Smart Social. And you may have heard there's a new challenge called, and what I'm going to do is we've already written in this, there's a new challenge called the Tide, let's just say the Tide Pod Challenge is sweeping the nation. And I do Control-Shift-V, which removes, if I were to just paste that, see how it puts this in here bold? That's not good for your emails. I would Control-Shift-V or paste as plain text, and then bold it from within Mailchimp, just so you know, because Mailchimp's going to do a better job than taking other stuff. The Tide Pod Challenge is sweeping the nation. It is a new teen challenge sweeping the nation. Students in this challenge attempt to consume plastic laundry detergent pods, multiple of them, So terrible. And post a video of it to social media. Now I'm going to take the rest of that blog post. I'm going to show you a couple other hacks here real quick. But Josh, my new email looks very different than that. Well, your new email came with a couple different things, your themes, and I'm going to actually take this and go Control X. Let me show you a couple tricks. Save it. I'm going to grab a text one here. Just follow me without doing it because I want you to see how we do our emails instead of just you doing that. I'm deleting it and then boom. Now, what I've done is I've created two different blocks on the left, as you can see over here. Cool. And why would I do that? Well, I'm going to show you here in a sec. You're going to have a block here that you can edit and a block here that you can edit. And we're going to get rid of some of this text. And the reason why I want to do this is, well, I don't have to explain it. I'll just show you. Okay, so now, hello, first name, Josh here from Smart Social. The Tide Pod Challenge is a new teen challenge, is a dangerous teen challenge sweeping the nation. Students in this challenge attempt to consume plastic laundry detergents. So now we're going to toss in an image, and this is why I want to show you this. We're going to go grab one of these images. We use a tool called Snappia.io, saved graphics. We're going to download this. Elise has done a great job on the team. Little shout out to her for what she does. Tide Pod Challenge, how to keep your family safe. Guys, go use this tool. It's pretty awesome. Download a web optimized JPEG. Bam. I download it from that system. I go over to this. I grab an image and I browse and I upload an image here. I just drag that over there. Now it's a little bit on the large side, so I do try and reduce the image size. See how it says this image is too big? I like to edit it. I usually edit it before I upload it, which is just a bad idea for me to do it now, but let's resize it down to 600 because that's all the width of an email really should be. And see how beautiful it is? Tide Pod Challenge. Now we're not done because we want to send traffic back to our site. Control C. I'm going to grab that URL at the top. Don't ever try and write out your URL. Grab it, Control C, because then you know it's going to work because that's what you're looking at, right? You're not like, oh, do I put a dash? Or always go with success. Link here, paste. So follow me here real quick. Advanced options, I always do open in a new window. Great. I don't put title attribute there. And look, it's centered, the Tide Pod Challenge. And then we are going to put the rest of the blog post below it. So we're going to grab this one, drag that down there. This is a text block, Control A, delete. I like to delete it all. And then what we're going to do here is go grab the rest of the thing. What is the Tide Pod Challenge? And what can parents do? Control C. Okay, so we're going to grab it. Elise has done a great job of helping me blog about this. Let's just see if we can put our font in there. Boom. The Tide Pod Challenge is where students, boom, 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 Fast Company. I'm going to remove some of this. I'm going to remove those links because I don't need those in there. We don't need to send people to Washington Post and stuff. We need to send them to our thing. Why should parents care? Okay, so what is the Tide Pod Challenge? All right, so read the whole blog post here. Read the, please consider forwarding this email to parents in your community and have them read the whole blog post here. And I don't know if we need to use the word blog post, but and have them read more about it. Read more about this challenge on smartsocial.com. Then we're going to link to that as well here. We're really just going to link back a few times to that. Please consider forwarding this email to parents in your community and have them read more about this on smartsocial.com. Okay, hopefully this is making sense. When you click advanced options, it auto hits that and then it'll open in a new window, which is important in the long run to open in a new window. And we're then going to, people often ask me, this information is so valuable, can I forward this on? They almost as if we're protecting children and they just don't, they're like, yeah, you can forward it on. So I just give that, I always put this, please consider forwarding this email. Great. And so we're really looking good because over here on the left, the Tide Pod Challenge in the news, why should parents care? And then what we're going to do is grab a button as well. People like buttons. Don't ask why. Watch our video here. Read more about this challenge here. And then let's just put that web address there. Boom. advanced options, it'll auto open it. And then our parent, boom. And then there's more about our parent university program. Great. And so on. So we could drag in some new blog posts, and this is another trick that I do. I really like to create blogs and then send people back WeChat. Let's go ahead and grab WeChat and throw that in there too. So we grab from here, we go there, Control C. Once again, you're seeing some of our tips and tactics that I've developed. Is it right for you? Maybe not, but I think that this will, well, I think this is of great value if you're just getting started or somewhat advanced. So I'm just throwing this in there. I click write, I click on the image, and I click write. If this is going too fast, rewind. This is on YouTube, so you get to do that. And I'm going to delete that because I don't need people to see that stuff. So there you go. And WeChat is that. And then I look over here on the left, I click save and close. And if it looks pretty good here, like pretty cool. Okay, so learn how Footprint Friday works. Learn how Footprint Friday protects your child. Your child online. Great. Awesome. Educators are going to be... Okay, perfect. So there we go. We've got an important blog post. Now, here is an important thing to note. This is another thing that's really important. You can preview it here, but this isn't good enough. It'll show it to you the way people might see it in their inbox. Neat. Desktop, mobile, important to do. Cool. Look how that's too big. See that? I don't like that. One of these is just too big. Let's go over here and let's see how this one appears. See, I made this one different, and I don't know if I love that. Boom. Width is 500. I don't know that I love that. Open that in a new window. I wish that was more oriented around mobile. This is the right way to do it. I don't think I did it right in that last one, but it's okay. So the best way to do this is to send a test email to yourself, send a test, and then to go to your inbox and open it up. So let's go ahead and go to your inbox. Bon voyage, right? Perfect. And then let's go ahead and do this. So we're waiting for that to come into the inbox. Sometimes it doesn't work right, but most of the time it will show up in the inbox. It takes just 1 minute. There we go. So let's go ahead and do this over here. Tide challenge. Now, this is what's cool is you can see how it's going to look, what it's going to look like. The reason why I'm doing this is sometimes it'll get cut off at the bottom. Sometimes it'll say this message is truncated because there's a certain amount of things you can and can't put in there. So I always make sure it's not truncated at the bottom. That's a really big deal. Oh, no, it's fine. They can't unsubscribe it. You'll go straight to spam filters. I mean, the world is smarter than us cheating it. So Tide Pod Challenge, and then people can also look at WeChat app, what parents need to know. We'll send one, next week about that. Okay, hopefully this is making sense. Test it. The next thing we got to test is click this email. Click on these links and make sure, okay, that went to Tide Pod. Now, click on the link and then wait until it opens. Don't click on a bunch of links and go look at them because this should go to Tide Pod, right? It could go to the wrong thing if you're not careful. Also, I don't want to do that. Consider reading Tide Safety Protocol. Yeah, see, look at this. Boom. Safety Protocol. That's one of the only things. Read more about this challenge here, right? Tide Pod Challenge. And people will forward this stuff on. Our parent university program, parent my students. Great, great, great. And I might remove a few of these things down here. 29 SWAT team prank. Okay, so let me show you one more thing. This is neat. We're offering so much value that people reach out. They ask me to speak. It's all about value these days. I don't even sell. I mean, this tool is a little bit sales, but we're actually going to remove. We're going to remove this because it's too much data. And we are going to go over to our podcast, Smart Social. Watch this, Simplecast. That's not what I want. We want to go to the Smart Social podcast, and I'm going to show you how to add in just a couple little things. 30. So this is what I do. Talking with teens. We're going to go grab this, Control C, back over to here, 29. We're going to paste this in there, and then we're going to go grab copy link address. And we're basically giving people stuff that they can click on to listen to our podcast. This is super crucial because we're looking for more podcast listeners. Hundreds of people listen to me a week, but this is a great way to juice it to get. If you don't have a podcast, maybe we should do a whole nother thing about podcast. Hey guys, at the end of this, now that you've watched this far, let's just do a little bit of a thing. You want to know how you can help me? Click the link below. We're going to go, I need more reviews for my book. You know, I've written a bunch of teen safety books. I need more for this orange one. If you're loving this, if you like it, can you give me a review? I'm teaching you marketing or teaching you how to shine online. Click on the orange one. It's for teens and young professionals. I'm looking for 100 reviews. If you love what you're learning here, you're going to learn the same thing in my books. Can you go give me a review, an honest review, like 3, 4, 5 star, whatever you think? If this is helping your business or whatever, I would love that, because that's what I'm looking for, is to help people and also to get in front of more parents and teachers and stuff like that. Okay, so you can click the links below for that. I would be forever grateful. Here's my latest. Okay, so let's do 30 and let's go over to the next one. So 30, let's go 31. This is my podcast. I'm just dragging and dropping. Anything you've put on your website should go in there. Control Z. Should go in there. Clear the styles if you ever have any problems with that. See how 31 now has clear that style. That shouldn't be. Yeah, so we've got a little bit of an issue there. So let's do it again. See, that one's correct. It shouldn't arrive in there with a link. You should be linking it separately. Copy link address, and because that means it's linked to the past one. And let's do one more and then we're ready to go. Hang out with me, guys, another 2 minutes. Boom. We're going to triple check this. I did another podcast today. So that one was blunders. This one is this. We did reducing screen time distractions. Control C. Without a link is the way it should show up. And then I can go here and go copy link address. Always triple checking stuff, making sure, gut check. This should say 32 at the end of it if I did it right, because that's number 32. So looking pretty good. All right, so save and close. Great. So we're looking great and we're all set. I'm going to do one more thing. I'm going to send another test email. One of my hacks is delete the old email in your inbox before, because otherwise it'll come in weird. It will show half of the old one and half of the new one. It's really weird. So always delete the old one. Okay, great. So we're all set there. We're going to take a look at the inbox here in just a hot sec, but let's just review. We created a simple text box. I don't use block text. I don't use all this fancy stuff. You know what? I don't even have social share buttons and social follow. Don't do all that stuff. That's a waste over there. Like, oh, I want people to follow me. Use that on your website. Get people to go where you want to go. I don't do all this fancy stuff. I just use simple text box and images. And then I'll use a button. You can use an image caption if you need to. Okay, so we've got the Tide Pod thing going on over here. Now watch this. Let's just go triple check the stuff at the bottom. Let's take a spot check. I tested this last time. That's why I duplicated my successful email. That should take you to the look app. See that? I knew where it was going, and then I should be able to also click on this look app. So if they work, they work. Great. And you should check all of these. I have already triple checked them. Number 32, let's make sure it goes to number 32, reducing screen time. People can listen to the podcast. 31, great. I'm going to put a link to the podcast below too if you guys want to rate that. That would be forever grateful. And 30. All right, we're ready to go. If you watch this, if you're continuing to watch, I'm going to show you a really cool trick. So now we're just about ready to go. We've got the design. Make sure you save anything that's over here. If you're clicked over here and you try and confirm before sending, it'll actually hurt you, because you won't have saved your work. So save and close, then confirm before sending. Okay. Now next is this. It's going to the list, green check. We know the segment. 3 total combinations. The result actually, we're waiting 2 hours, but it should be 4, but that's fine. The subject line is Tide Pod Challenge is dangerous for teens. Preview what parents need to know. We've got 3 different options. Great. I move quick because I've done this 100 times, but you might not have that. Social cards, I do not turn these on. That's when people share, they're not a good idea. Social cards are where they go, oh, I'm going to share a special landing page on Mailchimp and share that, and Mailchimp now gets all the traffic. I want my website to get traffic. Okay, now here's what's cool. This is where I get nerdy. You can let Mailchimp decide when you should send it, and it'll do a calculation based on the subscribers and all that stuff. I don't do that. I mean, you could do that, but what I do is I send it a specific time tomorrow morning. Usually it's in the morning and it's at 6 a.m. Pacific. And then I let it go for 2 hours. And then the next one, I'm going to go create another segment that is at 8:15 a.m. So at 2 hours, it'll send this one at 6. It'll wait 2 hours and send the most successful variant at 8 o'clock a.m. 15 minutes later, the next one that I schedule will be another segment just for parents that are highly engaged. They'll send at 8:15, and then the last segment of all the unengaged people, they'll send at 10:30, which is 2 hours and 15 minutes afterwards. So it gives the system plenty of time to delay and be. Hopefully that makes sense. So let's schedule that tomorrow morning. I'd actually like to send it out today, so it goes out tomorrow just to these people because they're highly engaged. So I may do that here right now. Let's schedule the campaign and show you the way I do it the correct way. This is nice. So campaigns, back over. So we rock on, we scheduled it. Look, scheduled. Now let's replicate it. We are taking the same one and copying it. Now, here's a hack. I want the contact rating to be bigger than that. I don't care about this anymore. I'm going to remove that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to add, and I'm going to do campaign activity. Campaign activity means that they were not sent the last campaign, which happens to be this one that's in draft. S2 Tide Pod Challenge, eBlast 2, blah, 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 and it puts the date on there. eBlast Educators number 1. Let me show you why that's important. So all of these need to be true. It's over 2 stars, and they didn't get the one that was scheduled that we just created, which means they're just a different variation, but they're highly engaged. 1 star means it's bouncing. 2 stars mean they were imported and we don't know whether they're going to be good or bad for the list. They haven't clicked on it very much yet. 3 stars means they're clicking or opening a little bit. 4 stars means it's good. And 5 stars means they are your raving fans. I've got a few of those. Right? So let's say, yeah. Okay, hopefully 2 star, anything above 2 star, they're engaged. And then we're just going to email just 2 stars or anybody above 1 star that didn't get the other ones. So hang out with me for a sec. So this is 22,000 people. Now, it includes the past people too, because they haven't been sent that yet. So you can't go and send it now yet because the past people, the past one hasn't gone yet. So let me show you what that means. Variables, 3 names. We're going to do the same thing, 2 hours. Setup. This is going to be number 2, and this is eBlast 2+ stars parents, because the people that aren't educators that weren't sent are usually parents. Personalize the 2 field. Boom, boom, boom. This is all the same. Tide Challenge blog. That's great. The content is really very similar. And once again, this just takes a whole lot of triple testing. My face is down there now. Okay, perfect. You probably don't need my head so big, but you get the idea here. Hello, Josh here from smartsocial.com. The Tide Pod Challenge is a dangerous teen challenge sweeping the nation. Students in this challenge attempt to consume plastic laundry detergent pods and post a video it to social media. Please consider forwarding this email to parents in your community and have them read more about this challenge. Okay, so design. Let's confirm it before sending. Should we test it? Well, we haven't changed anything in there. We tested every link. Let's assume we tested every link, and I have on other emails. Let's schedule it for tomorrow morning. We sent the other one at 6 a.m. It goes at 6 a.m. and 8 a.m. It waits 2 hours and sends but this one we're going to send not at 8 a.m. We're going to send it at 8:15 a.m. So there's a buffer room because sometimes it sends it the old one at 8:05 a.m. We have to make sure that old one is completely done before the new one goes out. Very, very important. Schedule that campaign. Now, I named it wrong. Pretty easy to go back and rename the internal. This is our internal name, S2 Python, number 2, if you named that one wrong and copied it. Let's replicate this one, and let's do it one more time, okay? Now we're going to go to the 3rd tranche. We're going to do anyone over 1 star that has not received the first one and has not received. Once again, we're going to get a big open rate because of this. We're really engaging people. We're staying out of spam folders. We're doing all this stuff by engaging 3 different tranches of our list. Okay, they were not sent number 2. So you guys see that right there, number 2. So they weren't sent number 1 or number 2, and they're over 1 star. This should be a huge number because nothing's gone out. It should be 53,000 because at 6 a.m., half of this will have been done. And at 8 a.m., the rest of the half of that will be done. At 8:15, half of that will be done. And at 10:15, the rest of that will be done. So this one, we're going to send at 10:30. Hopefully I'm not moving too fast, and I apologize if I am, but you can rewind and do this. And I'm doing this for free. So if you love it, go give me a review on my book, please. I'm forever grateful. Setup. Let's go over to setup. You go along the bottom here, and we're going to do this as number 3. And I'm going to do 1+ stars. So, I'm sorry. You know what? 2+ stars. The last ones are actually 3 and above. So I actually named the last ones if I felt wrong. That's fine. There you go. Tide Pod Challenge. It's all good. That's all perfect. E-commerce. It keeps wanting to turn that on, and I'm so frustrated. I got to go turn that off on one of the other ones. You see that? E-commerce, it throws some weird links in there. It does some weird stuff. I got to turn that off. I tried to turn it off before. Okay, this is all the same. This is fantastic. Design, confirm before sending. Now, list, it won't be that many people. Combinations, boom, 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 boom. We're going to schedule it for tomorrow morning at, let's pick a.m. Let's pick 10:30 a.m. If I remember correctly, nope, I didn't want to do that. 10:30 a.m. See that? Boom, 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 boom. Great. Schedule that campaign. So that's tomorrow, 10:30 a.m. So if we go back here, the first one should be scheduled at 6, and then 8:15, and then 10:30. It gives it 2 hours and 15 minutes. Does that make sense? Let's pause and edit the 8:15 because we're going to schedule it for the same thing, but the setup, it tried to click our little e-commerce button. I don't like that. I can just tell that it keeps trying to click that. Confirm, and so on. Okay, so those will go out in the morning. I love scheduling stuff the day before. Schedule, it takes you to the bottom, and it tries to schedule it for the same time. 8:15 a.m. tomorrow, boom, schedule. It's going to give you the rock-on look. And there you go. We've done a whole campaign, and in the end, you'll see the reports and all that stuff. It puts them in a different order, right? So the first one is 6 a.m., 1, and then 2 is 8:15 a.m., and then 3 is 10:30 a.m. And it's just going to do A/B testing and figure out who it's from, and it just does all this magic, and now you've got a marketing person in the morning doing all that for you. I just spilled some water, but it's fine. Hopefully that made sense. Thank you so much, guys. You can learn more about us at smartsocial.com, where I travel the country teaching kids how to be safe on the internet. We used to run marketing for big companies. Now I travel around teaching brands how to be authentic online with my books that are called Light, Bright, and Polite. Got a lot of stuff on my desk today. Light, Bright, and Polite. You can learn more at smartsocial.com. Thank you so much for joining. I'll talk to you guys all very soon, and I hope Mailchimp works out well for you. Take care.